Welcome once again. The Ondo State Gubernatorial election is set to hold on Saturday, November 16th, 2024, with 2,053,061 registered voters expected to cast their ballots across 3,933 polling units in the state's 18 local government areas. Major contenders include the incumbent Governor Aiyedatiwa of the All Progressives Congress, former Deputy Governor Agboola Ajayi of the People's Democratic Party, and Akingboye Bamidele of the Social Democratic Party, SDP.
Well, the largest and politically significant LGAs, including Akure South and Ondo West, are anticipated to play crucial roles in the election outcome. This off-cycle election comes after Governor Rotimi Akeredolu's passing in December 2023, with Aiyedatiwa stepping in as acting governor. Well, joining us this morning is political scientist and a fellow at the Nigeria Academy of Letters, Mr. Akin Osuntokun. Thank you so much for being here with us and availing us your time. Let's take a look at a recent survey. Just yesterday, you did have a survey that came out, especially for Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development, CJID, highlighting a troubling trend of distrust towards electoral processes and institutions. Now, only 36% of respondents expressed confidence in the elections being conducted fairly and also credibly. Let me start off first. As an election scientist, do you see this trend as well? We saw a lot of discrepancies in Ondo State. We also had heard of what took place in other parts of Nigeria. What's your take on the elections as we head towards it, especially this weekend?
First principle, so to say. You mentioned the figure of those we are expecting to vote on Saturday, and the figure that you mentioned was over 2 million. Now, let me make a prediction. The total number of voters who will come to vote and the quote unquote on Saturday is not likely to, we are not likely to get up to 600,000 voters. The implication of this, because this trend is consistent across the length and breadth of Nigeria, is that right from the word go, voter registers were inflated. It's not a reflection of the voters in each state. If you go across the elections or come across the election, like the last Edo State, I don't know, I can't remember offhand now the actual number of people who voted, but it was about maybe 20 or 30% of so-called registered voters. The implication of this, as I said, is that there has been an element of rigging or distortion which is consistent with population figures in Nigeria. All figures, population figures, these figures, they are all fake. Now, and I'm not talking theory, right? Many years ago, right? Anytime they are going to do census or something like that, right? In my own community, which is consistent with what happens in other constituencies, is that the community leaders will be invited to make donations or contributions so that they can take care of the census officials who are coming. Taking care is outright bribe. So they inflate the figure. I'm telling you, it's not theory. This is what I'm not ashamed to say that. I took part in it. And every community in Nigeria, if there's any way you can verify it, I can tell you that across the length and breadth of Nigeria, voter, whatever they want it, are highly inflated. Now, look at Lagos State, for instance.
Just to confirm, Mr. Osuntokun, just to confirm, you are saying that you have taken part in also inflating voter numbers before?
Forget about that. Is not the issue. The issue here is I'm telling you that across the board, right, across board. I'm telling you, I've witnessed it before. I was going to mention Lagos. What was the total votes count in Lagos in the last general elections? If you go and see it, it will be a fraction of maybe the millions that are on the voter register. The same thing in the last Ondo State election. How many people voted? Go and check how many people voted in the Ondo election and compare it with the registered voters. So this is on and on. I mean, so this, unless we want to look the other way, but this is what has been happening. People call it low voter turnout. That there is nothing like the low voter turnout. What usually comes out in the day of the election is the reality of the number of voters, contrary to what is the registered voters or whatever it is. So right from the word go, the election has been compromised.
All right. I also want us to, in the interest of time, I apologize, for jumping in like that, but I also want us to talk about credibility of the elections. Since the Ondo State elections happened, there have been numerous reports, by independent analysts and, of course, NGOs that have expressed how much dissatisfaction exists with the Ondo State elections. And, of course, the PDP is currently in court. Do you expect it to be different with Ondo State? INEC has a lot of questions that must be answered as to the credibility of the electoral process.
It's not going to be different. It's going to be the same. And we are going to find precisely the trend that this is what gives room, for the manipulation of results. In the first place, is the wrong number of inflated figures that have been already so-called registered in the first place. Look, at those states, as nobody is surprised with the election. There are some people, somebody like Akeredolu Peter came out to relate his own experience. Now, that kind of person, be crying foul where there is none. Answer to that, of course, is no. I was the Director General of the Peter Obi campaign in the last election. So I'm more or less a first-hand witness. I saw what happened. And how it's different from what at the end of the day in Lagos State, even though Lagos State, quote unquote, was won by Labour Party, but the real figures of those who voted, of the number of votes, for instance, that the Labour Party had, was grossly, reduced. So what they tell you, okay, when Labour Party still won, maybe won with 30 or 40 or 40, they were ready to concede that, because the number of votes you need to, eliminate will be too much. So, as I said, I have no, it's a pity if Nigerians are reduced to a situation in which nobody has any, belief or trust, in the electoral system. I'm even surprised that you don't find candidates other than the candidates of APC going out to spend their money, knowing fully well then they will spend some more, the job with your party. Or spend money on all sorts of logistics and things in the election proper. Then they will go to court and start spending another thing for a result that has been already predetermined. So because the judiciary are equally implicated in. So I don't know for how long this country will remain like that.
Mr. Chisaku, I mean, you've made mention of so many things in the line of this response you've granted us. But I want to break down a few questions to you. But let me ask first off, there is a particular a name that continues to resound, especially in the ears of everyone in Ondo, especially the youths. And I'm talking about Mrs. Oluwatoyin Babalola, who happens to be the rec in Ondo. There have been statements made that she is very close to the APC, and as much as they've called for her resignation, for her to be removed right before the elections, INEC says that would not be possible. What's your take on vote buying? I mean, you just said that they already know the winner and so on and so forth. What do we have to say about this trend that's ongoing, where you do have politically impacted people working with INEC? What's your take on all of this?
The totality of it is that elections are manipulated. Look, in terms of manipulation of election results, the so-called REC, none of the officials of the government, they are in reality agents of the ruling party, or which party is going to rule. Fortunately, that is the case. Now, remember the case of the Resident Electoral Commissioner for Abia State, that woman, Vice Chancellor. If you read the statement, what that woman said, again, you get the nation about all these things, how they are putting pressure on her to distort the election, to do this kind of work. That is an evidence, of course, that is another evidence of how things, but these officials you are talking about, I have no faith at all in what they say or that, are nothing. I like to be proven wrong. But we're pointing to a state in Nigeria where elections are becoming a farce and trending towards one party state. But here, this is the reality of election in Nigeria. But there's another aspect of it, to be fair, that you can blame the electorate. In those states, there were authentic reports of people selling their votes, outright, maybe for 1,000 naira or whatever it is. But those ones, at the end of the day, the grand, manipulation of the results, of the election results, are done at a higher level of those who require the REC, the police, so this is where I'm not, confidence whatsoever.
Mr. Osuntokun, what's your sorry to butt in? What's your faith in the current judiciary led by Chief Justice of Nigeria, Kekereekun?
Well, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. She has been in the Supreme Court for quite a while now. But it's somebody I know personally, so please, I don't want to go there. But we'll see, she has an opportunity to prove herself. But most importantly, for personal reasons, I don't want to do that. I mean, I'm close family friends with them.
Okay. All right. We respect your stand on that. I mean, since you've made mention of that. But then again, one party state is what everyone is starting to talk about, because it seems like every political party that's actually governed a state always ensures that they win, except for some places we've seen in the southeast, where we have a different political party within, even though they've alluded that these parties are going to finally switch allegiance to that of the governor. But let me ask my final question to you. The elections are this weekend. Do you see voter apathy? Do you also see people selling their votes as well this weekend?
Sure, of course. But let me correct you. It is no voter apathy. It is a true reflection of the number of voters the registered voter that will come out on Saturday. It will look to you as if there's a voter apathy. When you compare the number of people who come out to vote and what is in the register, right? Take note and go and find out, go and see how it works out. You know, how those numbers, on some occasions, you will see 10% of people voting. Now, that 10% often is not the correct number. It is it's inflated. Look, Lagos, Kano, they all inflate the votes that are attributed to those places and all across the board. You know, so when people talk about voter apathy, well, it is relative to the fraudulent figures that you had in the first place. Right? You just don't, I mean, it doesn't make sense to, not that it doesn't make sense. You know, I have empirical evidence to know precisely, you know, what is going on. So that is what Nigeria has become. You know, and that's why people are desperate to get to, you know, you have ridiculous instances, you know, that judiciary, they are the ones now who make, who appoint governors, who appoint whatever they do, and of course, there's no judiciary to rectify, you know, whatever they are doing, because they are linked all together.
Yeah. All right. I mean, on the 16th, yeah, I guess we would all find out, you know, how things turn out for the Ondo State people and, of course, for the elections. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We hope to speak with you again right after the elections or just before the elections. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.